gonna be interesting to see if they can do it. Very poke heavy. It's gonna be difficult. This is a map that really, I think, actually plays to the strengths of TeamNut, aka a little bit of late game objective control, but other than that, a lot of poke potential, which they seem to be very good at.
Yeah, absolutely true. So the Maiev ban coming in. Actually, we haven't seen any Maiev prioritized, even when it was free to pick, even when the enemy team or one of the teams didn't even bother banning it. So that's an interesting one for sure. So what are they going to respond with? First pick, of course, goes over to A-Team because TeamNut was the team that could choose the map here. Genji, very dangerous in that map. A lot of movement freedom for him.
Yeah, and Genji's been consistently banned every single game so far. We have yet to see him in play, I'm pretty sure. So, wouldn't be surprised to see him banned out again, unfortunately, to have the theme continue.
Yep. Let's see what they're going to go for. They're taking their sweet time. I wouldn't even mind maybe seeing a global ban, but they go for the Jaina again, just like they did in the... They just really want to shut down Jaina, and in a double sense, right? The hero is getting shut down and the player from A-Team.
Either way, though, Genji lives. He has made it.
Not into this draft yet, though, because they go for a Zeratul first pick. I don't understand. That's so risky.
I mean, Zeratul first pick is definitely risky. Genji! There we go. First of the day.
Do you remember what No did on that Genji yesterday?
Many terrible,
He was slicing and dicing his way in. He was cracking people up all the time, and they gave it to him just like that.
Yeah, you can have this. We don't mind, apparently. Risky play, and you gave them the Urel as well, so they have a really potentially the best assassin, potentially the best solo laner. Good luck, the A-Team. If they have a plan, it better come together soon, or they're going to have some serious issues.
Honestly, if they don't go for a wombo combo style, I don't see a reason why they would ever pick Zeratul first. Like, if they just don't bank all their hopes on that VP engage and maybe follow it up with an Apocalypse from Diablo, maybe a False Set Hinterlands Blast on top of that, because I don't know, man. If you think about it, so many of those wombo combo tools are actually banned out. Maya's Warden Cage, the Ring of Frost by Jaina, and they still picked up the Void Prison, the Zeratul first. So let's see what they're going to have in plan store here. Basically, they want to keep their opponents in the dark here by picking the tank and the support, which normally don't matter too much when you have a Zeratul. They're trying to hide a little something, right? It's more important for TeamNut to scout out which assassins they want to go for as a follow-up.
I mean, the A-Team, they have a whole lot of teamfight CC in terms of Void Prism, Taunt, and Stay a While and Listen. Potentially Lornado, but Stay a While a little bit more likely, I would say.
Yep.
But the question is, what is their follow-up? They have all of this setup and nothing else. So yeah, TeamNut will probably see them ban some kind of assassin. With Jaina already banned out, who are we thinking here?
Huh. Maybe a Kalthas?
Kalthas, perhaps. Gul'dan. Cassia seems to be being stuck with. The A-Team really do like their Cassia.
Jeez, man. I was going to say, Olele, like, we called him a weak, shaky player when the season started, right? But boy, oh boy, has he shaped it up on that Cassia. I think that is by far his best hero and his most impactful one. So taking that away, especially when A-Team still needs to pick two assassins, right? Because they decided to hide the assassins for the second half of the draft. I think that makes a lot of sense. Good choice by TeamNut.
I would agree. Definitely seems to make a lot of sense considering the way they have been drafting this game as of so far. So now then, the A-Team. How do you want to deny TeamNut? We're looking at some kind of tank, most likely, as solo lane's already on the board, or a support. They let Malfurion go through. They just ban out Johanna.
They ban out the Johanna. I could see a Thrall Phoenix now come in for A-Team, perhaps. You drop the Earthquake underneath the VP. Phoenix finishes everybody off with a salvo. Maybe that's going to be their recipe. Maybe that's something they want to make work. It would be so cool if they picked away the Phoenix now, TeamNut, that is.
Yeah, no, I agree. Actually, I was thinking about it, and but even without that many slows, there's still Deckard. There's still technically the Singularity Spike. So yeah, the Phoenix would be good. It's a solid ranged hero anyway, but they're sticking with Tychus this time, bringing out the repeat performance.
All right, they're going for the Tychus. It served them well in the first game, right? It melted the enemy team's tank, and the good thing about Tychus is he can do it again. He can do it against the Garrosh as well if he goes for a good minigun usage there. So definitely not an assassin that I hate to see here. Quite the opposite is actually the case. So now this is the interesting part of this draft. This is where the A-Team needs to justify their early Zeratul first pick. What are they going to go for? There's not a whole lot of top tier assassins left.
Yeah. There's Hanzo Dragon Arrow, that's a wombo.
Yeah.
There's Junkrat, Riptire, Steal a Draft from RPG.
Good ones. Actually, there's more left than I thought of in the first place. But are they going to play these heroes? That's the question, right? Do they have the player material to back it up? Hey! And they pick Thrall Phoenix.
I mean, it's okay, but doesn't feel like there's as much synergy there as
No. It looks
going
like
with like a Junkrat or something.
Right, it looks like they're going to take the best that is still in the rest, right? I mean, sure, it could work out in a perfect world, but the moment Irel uses the Ardent Defender, Genji has Deflect, Tyke is going to be super tanky in that Odin as well. They're still going to have to pick a main tank.
Yeah. The Zeratul feels like the least necessary part of this draft here. It feels like it was picked first, and they might have had a plan around it.
Easy.
And then whatever their main plan was, probably... I mean, Jaina was banned first, so it can't have been Jaina. Maybe Cassia, but even that's super weird. At some point, what they wanted to do after that Void Prism just didn't exist. Now they just value Zeratul high enough, and they just think they can do it without the combo, which is possible. But this comp is just a very, very, very tepid in terms of warmth and bravery.
Are we going to hand it to the Nuts in terms of drafting?
I think so. I think their draft looks a little bit more solid. It's less wombo focused and more actual sustained team fight focused, which is pretty decent against the Thrall and adding the Purification Salvo on top.
I think so too. I think you basically brought up all the most important points. I like the Genji as well. I think in terms of individual comfort zone, TeamNut must feel really good about themselves, right? Irel, super strong right now. Then they have Genji, who No is an absolute master on. Probably one of the strongest Genjis in the league. Muradin, you can never go wrong with a Muradin. There is hardly any tank busting, any tank shredding available for the A-Team. I think they're definitely looking strong in terms of broad drafting. But the question is, guys, can TeamNut pull it off again in the game? Or is the A-Team, who looked so strong for the large majority of game number 1, can they bounce back and come back? We're going to find out in a bit as we introduce those teams once more to you. In the blue trunks, it is TeamNut with No on the Genji, FS on Muradin, Fei Yi is playing the Irel, Oasis on the Tychus again, just like in first game, and a Tui on the Malfurion.
And on the right-hand side, it is going to be the A-Team, with Jaina on Thrall, Olele on Phoenix, Bruiser on Zeratul, Stukov on the Deckard Cain, and Uncle G is playing on the Garrosh. And I am, again, slightly concerned. They've gone for a Crash Lightning, so they have some hope. Adjusting that way.
Crash Lightning is pretty interesting, but I think on this map, it's definitely, it can definitely be justified, let's put it this way, because there are longer skirmishes around the Protector capture zone. You can really ramp up your damage for the later stages of the game as well. But look at how TeamNut is reacting to this. They're not trying to actually group up. They're trying to stay away from Jaina already on that Thrall. They're not basically giving them the satisfaction of early free stacks on that Crash Lightning. Genji finds a Wild Phoenix in the bush and already causes quite some pain on him.
It's all shield damage though. Lele heals that back up pretty much instantly, so no concerns there, at least for the moment. We're all still looking for stacks, but so far
they're not going to give it to him.
Too lucky. Yeah, people keep dodging him.
Yeah. And that's exactly how you play against an early game stacking hero, like a Chromie, for example, like a Crash Lightning Thrall. You basically avoid getting stacked up. You just try to rotate to different lanes. You let one hero max clear the lane against him. And look at what A-Team is doing. They realize, you know what? Our enemies don't want to face us. They don't want to fight us. So we're going to take this objective, scouted by the Genji Shuriken, though.
Yeah, but you're completely right. Here is what the A-Team should have been doing since a while ago. The second TeamNut started rotating away from them. Yeah. They should have just picked a lane and hard pushed. Because if the enemy team is that desperate to not give them stacks, then they'll get push value. If the enemy team is wants to defend and prevent the push value, then guess what? Thrall gets stacks.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So if the enemies don't want to come to you, you need to force them, right? By going for objectives, you need to force the enemy team to maybe contest them. So a really good move, securing themselves an early healing pulse for the A-Team. They're not done yet. They're taking more mercenaries. And Thrall, I think at this point, has given up. He's like, okay, we're going to try to help our teams in other places and be useful in other manners if the enemy team doesn't want to let me get any stacks.
TeamNut continue their rotations around the map, trying to avoid the Thrall that they don't know where he is. They now know that that camp's been taken, so they probably have a vague idea, and they leave. The two of them doing the mercenary camp to mirror what the A-Team just did. The rest head down to bot lane.
The rest heads down to bot lane indeed. FaZe trying his best to clear this lane. Really interested in seeing FaZe's ERL again. I think up to this point it's undefeated. He won both games yesterday. He won his first game on ERL today as well. So let's see if A-Team can find a way to crack that defense of TeamNut's off-lane player.
Start Uncle G tosses Oasis. Not enough damage as of yet. Scroll of Sealing prevents FS. Moving on to Olele. Everyone's able to pull back. No even takes a little bit of damage.
Yeah.
Positioning initially taken by TeamNut, but in the meantime, Bruiser getting push value.
Yeah, Zeratul getting decent experience in pushing value done. And this is exactly the moment that Thrall is looking for, or has been looking for, right? Look at the enemy team, how they clump up during those fights here. He's going to get stack after stack after stack for the Crash Lightning. So as long as the Protector isn't taken eventually by the enemy team, I think A-Team is fine, you know, prolonging this fight a little bit, trying to stall it out a little more.
See a nice little duel down here. Deflect used to block the Singularity Spike. Nice little move forward here. Healing Pulse is used and it's away from the latter half of it.
And the double turret barrage coming in there as well for the TeamNut. That's an impenetrable defense. I don't think A-Team is going to be able to break through that without taking tremendous amounts of damage.
Pretty perfect timing when you say it's an impenetrable defense and they immediately penetrate it. However, it was too late as the Protector is taken and they immediately move in for the push value.
There we go. How much value can this first Protector get? Irel also taking care of the bottom lane to basically prevent the experience from getting lost over there. That damage, though, pretty solid. Already wrapping down the Immortal onto 56%. It's pretty respectable.
At least for the moment, Punisher picks out even more turret value. One more turret that he can get here with the remaining health on the Immortal. There's slightly more to say, though. There's a Tychus in there. As much as Muradin could probably survive whatever you throw at him. Tychus decided, the fact there is a Tychus in the Gunner seat makes it not worth the risk.
Superior soaking right now happening from A-Team, just like in Game 1. Although they lost the first objective, although they lost both towers in top lane, in mid lane, they still are doing a wonderful job keeping up the experience for the most part. 8-8 is the current level count. Now, Uncle Chi tries to find that opening. Is he going to go for the Muradin? Yes, he is. Toss is ready, but actually not being used there in time. And FS on the Muradin escapes for now.
Muradin tanks it, tanks through, and with the Treant being put down, there was no chance of Garrosh getting the turnaround kill after a little bit of extra damage was added. So nicely done there, at least for the moment. Now they're moving forward, looking for Muradin once again. This time, damage output from Phoenix
so close
is just short into the fray.
Bruiser
Phoenix safe, and Bruiser picks up the kill there.
Picks up the kill. I think the A-Team is not done just yet. They want to get more. They find a Wild Malfurion, and they toss it into their backlines. A 2-for-0. The A-Team found an opening in the Nuts defenses, and they capitalized on that mercilessly. So
now, more pressure being added onto the other lanes. Healing Pulse this time being stolen away by the A-Team with their 2-kill lead here, in exchange for all the towers that TeamNut were able to acquire. We have Relentless Soldier coming in for Tychus, by the way, going to try and block some of that physical damage from Zeratul and the Thrall. But in the meantime, Jaina, he still might not be getting too many Crash Lightning stacks, but he's getting something at least, especially his level 10. So he has Earthquake for the Purification Salvo combo.
Yeah, so now I'm really thrilled and excited to see what the A-Team can do. The level 10, this is basically where they wanted to start snowballing. This is where their first power spike has hit. With a VP laying the foundation, followed up by maybe a Resident Sleeper, maybe the Stay a While and Listen, and then, of course, the Earthquake Purification Salvo to finish things off.
Now, as we see TeamNut moving forward, looking for their opportunity, Jaina gets more zapping. No stacks acquired, though, being denied. Being denied by minions, having none of it. As FS moves forward, good dodge by Olele, also having none of that kind of engaged play. As Nut forced to back up.
Absolutely. For now, they're safe. For now, they shall maintain and keep their lead. But when is the A-Team going to snap the trap? I really think Zeratul, Bruiser in that case, is going to play the most crucial of roles here. He finds a Genji, has to retreat immediately. Genji usually wins those trades simply due to the fact that he has lower cooldowns and more mobility than Zeratul, as crazy as that may sound.
Zeratul. Yeah, it is quite weird to say he has less. Anyone has less mobility than the Zeratul. As we see the move in onto FS, who just turns it round. Avatar is popped, but no time for a nap as a Purification Salvo comes out, just deleting through No, who nearly dies to minions even. Has to use Dragon Blade to leave. But the Odin is still enough to zone out, and everyone from the A-Team is able to survive, and that was a 4v5.
Actually interesting that No went for the Dragon Blade, isn't it? When you expect a wombo combo kind of playstyle from the enemy team, you sometimes want to use the X-Strike as an escape tool, because it has a lower cooldown and it's usually a little more reliable and safer because it grants you a short period of invulnerability. But going for the Dragon Blade, let's see how much he can actually add to the team's team fighting value with that.
And also the fact that X-Strike, like you said, you can not only use to escape, you can engage, and if you don't get the kill, still have that Swift Strike to leave. Nowadays, though, in this particular build, Genji with that Dragon Blade, looking for some nice executions. Still 50 seconds out as the taunt is used on the Muradin and the Yarel, both of which tank through. Jaina is gonna get some stacks now.
Yep. Definitely gets all those Thrall stacks that he wants to. Oh my goodness, Fegi playing a dangerous game on that Yarel. Barely escapes as well. Both teams now took already a little bit of a beating. Stukov on that Deckard, he still has the turret, and he's probably going to use it right here, right now, as the TeamNut is trying to make an engage happen. Stukov ends up falling, a 1 versus 0 trade already in favor of the Nuts.
The sleep hit's absolutely nothing. It went onto the Void Prism. So as such, Deckard K gets taken out. Uncle G looking for FS, but here comes No. Picks up 1 kill. Eats some fort shots though. Gets out, gets the armor applied by Faye just to be sure. A 2-2
2 versus 5.
There comes the Earthquake, and Jaina wades forward and picks up yet another kill.
No way! All right, they did it. They got a cheeky kill there. I mean, it's not going to change the fact that this Protector is still going to punish them. However, 1 kill is better than 0. So kudos for Phoenix and Thrall pulling off that pretty cheeky but very rewarding play. And yeah, but also major kudos to TeamNut. They played that very well. They got the early support kill. Now Dragon Blade is done and used to kill the Phoenix. It was about damn time that he said goodbye and bit the dust. And now they're going to get this forward. They probably would have gotten it for free, but the Phoenix kill feels like the icing on the cake.
Quite marvelously. And as you can see here, the rest of the Protector is going to be used to burn down this mid forward quite nicely as well. Bruiser dropped some good damage of his own, though, to really try to prevent this, and the forts actually might survive. Uncle G tries to taunt No, but he says no and is able to dash away and keep himself alive.
Absolutely says no to that one. And Uncle G needs to be a little more careful, I feel, as to who he throws into the team's backline. That Genji move was fine, but the taunt, I think he should have expected that Genji could use the Swift Strike before him, so just a second too late there. But also in that previous team fight, he actually threw Muradin, a full HP Muradin, into the backline, actually helping Muradin by providing him with another gap closer. So, needs to be a little more careful. Not always is the toss and the throw the best option as a Garrosh.
So now then, we have the A-Team still, despite that pushing against them, pretty even in terms of experience. They're holding themselves into this quite well. They really are improving just day after day, so it's really cool to see. By the end of this, they're going to be taking games off of FDT. But for now, we do see the A-Team just cleaning out the lanes, managing the fact they are still technically a little bit behind. They are certainly a little bit behind in terms of structures, so they need to be moving as a group because their rotations are always now more risky because the enemy team could be anywhere due to the denied vision.
Absolutely true. The more force you take down, the more vision you have as a team, right? And as such, for the A-Team, it's a little harder right now to find an angle to contest this Healing Pulse camp. And TeamNut, they took it once again. They now have 2 upgrades, 2 items in their possession. Didn't actually see if there was another turret in there. But I think for now it's 1 turret and 1 Healing Pulse. But look at the A-Team. They're not done just yet. They're trying to make something happen on the Irel. The Ardent Defender protects her in the nick of time, though.
That was so clutch. Oh, that's cool. VP, that means the salvo does not land on Faye. And Faye's able to escape. He gets rooted. Earthquake.
No way.
Ceiling. Not enough. Zeratul gets turned on here. Here comes Noah. Immediate teleport out by Olele, but shurikens begin to rain fire. Nice little knock-up with the Groundbreaker. And this looks like it will be the disengage. The A-Team only losing a single member, but TeamNut begin to rotate down to the bot lane, setting up that bottom fort to make it so that they can push in with the next protector.
Absolutely amazing there. Look at that clutch save by Irel. She uses the Ardent Defender here to get out of harm's way. And then the VP is so unfortunate. As you said, Tetcher, the salvo not really locking on that hero that they wanted to finish off. And look at how close they were. They invested so many cooldowns, so many abilities to try to get that Irel to fall, but they weren't able to do so. And as a result, TeamNut walks away with another big victory in that team fight.
TeamNut. They were posturing in the bot lane. They've already taken down the fountain. It's going to make it so much harder for the A-Team to fight over this objective. However, the A-Team, if you actually look at the minimap, they were sneaky and actually also took bot fountain. So this bottom objective is going to be a fountainless fight unless TeamNut wants to rotate all the way to mid, or either team wants to rotate all the way back down to their tier 2s.
All right, so the A-Team, it's actually miraculous to see how well they've been doing in terms of soaking. I think at this point, it's safe to say that this is their greatest strength, right? They stay in the game, they're tenacious, they're not giving up, and they're not going down without at least pulling up a little bit of a fight. So despite losing so many team fights, despite not getting a single protector up to this point, they're still in this game in terms of raw experience. Now, another turret goes over into the hands of TeamNut. They find an opening there, but Uncle G says no for now. Zeratul going in deep, but he does have another VP, and here it goes.
VP's down. Faye could really use to get in that. Gets taunted. No comes in with the Dragon Blade, though. It shuts it down. The deflect is good. Great Groundbreaker by Uncle G, though, to potentially set this up. But you're seeing the Genji going down with Thrall and Decad in quick response. All of the damage is gone as Olele dies in mid-air. Cool. As Uncle G goes down as well. A full team wipe by TeamNut. They only lost 2 members as well. That was a little bit messy, but it worked out so well in their favor.
Absolutely true. Now, watch Oasis. No attention was put onto him, but I can understand that move by A-Team because look at how Genji, how he was going in with the Dragon Blade, inflicting so much damage. It looked good for a moment with the BP and the Earthquake in that choke point, hitting absolutely everybody for TeamNut, but then Jaina gets taken out. Genji falls as he takes down Thrall's life, and look at Oasis, completely untouched, and the big bad Odin is going to brawl until the end of time, taking out the entire enemy team. Wonderfully done. It was an absolute bloodbath.
Genji just detonated. He dashed through the Thrall to get the kill and into, I think it was the Phoenix AoE auto attack, which is just what wiped him mid-dash. So that was pretty cool to see. As we see this Healing Pulse going to be taken by the A-Team. Very clever. They can't really contest the objective anymore. They can't defend their bot lane, so they're going to grab something to help them defend the tier 2s.
Exactly. So if you can't defend this anymore, if you know the opponents have too much of a lead, then you just give it up and you try to get value elsewhere. As Tetris said, taking that Healing Pulse, maybe even destroying this top fort before then teleporting back to the defense is definitely a very smart move, because the Protector, as good and strong as it is, it takes a little while to actually get to the position where they want it to be. Minion actually interrupting the teleport here from Bruiser on the Zeratul. But I think A-Team should be able to make it back in time. Still half a level though. For the level 20 towns of TeamNut, they're destroying 1, 2 towers. That's a big chunk of XP. And at the very latest, if they manage to destroy that keep, they're going to have a massive bench for those next team fights.
VP on the Protector. That's 2 heroes out the fight. They immediately focus onto the Odin as Oasis takes huge damage. No healing available for him as the healer is in the Protector. Genji with the Dragon Blade does a huge amount of damage. Here comes the kill. They've just decided to put Muradin in the Protector and let him one-man it as he pushes forward. The rest of the team needs Malfurion in. He pops out the Protector, drops the heal.
Put the Irel or the Genji in there. The Protector is not hitting with full force. He's trying to do it right now. He tried to actually use the Protector as an escape, but he couldn't do so in time. Irel, Fei with a big misplay, but they still end up getting the keep. Atui, can he do it? Can he hop into the Protector? He's trying.
Nope. And now this Protector might die. Muradin's going to have to get a very quick Dwarf Toss to get out of here. There it is. And Jada is delivered, but not far enough as FS is able to flee. That was a keep in exchange for 3 kills. Is it worth, Kendrick?
I think it is. It was a sloppy attack, but a successful one nonetheless, right? They killed one dude, and they killed the keep, which is permanent damage against temporary damage. Also, I don't think A-Team can strike back. They're not even going to get this bottom forward if they don't commit to it. So overall, they could have played that much cleaner, TeamNut that is. But I think the result justified the means.
And now, with TeamNut, they're level 20. But unfortunately, Malfurion's dead, so they can't really do much with it. This is the downside of the move they did. Yeah, they got long-term damage, but they gave away a long-term lead.
That they did. Level 20 is now here. Let's see how much of a power spike the A-Team is able to unleash. Level 20. Are we going to see the Earthen Shields on Thrall, providing more protection?
There
yes, we will. There we go. Zeratul, of course, with his level 20, also much more sustainable. He's going to get some really sexy life leech from his cleaves now. Decker Kane, lower cooldown on the Stay a While and Listen. And Phoenix, most importantly, Tetra is going to get a second life.
Phoenix does get a second life with Titanic Might, the extra double throw now for Garrosh. And yeah, like you said, respect your elders, reduce cooldown, and the silence coming in for that Stay a While and Listen is going to be super good.
Absolutely true. Muradin, by the way, going for the avatar upgrade, reducing the cooldown of this ability whenever he delivers basic attacks. So Bruiser, he's in trouble right now, has to use the defensive VP. Can he make it out? Yes, he can. And the Fountain as well, keeping him rejuvenated.
Genji gets caught in the silence, eats a salvo, no is taken out. Yarel survives at least a little bit, but will go down to Zeratul. Yeah, we will go down to Zeratul.
Probably,
eventually.
yes.
No way he gets out there, as we see the kill picked up. And if they can get Muradin as well as a team wipe, if not 4 man is still pretty good. FS is trying to delay. This is fantastic. If he can do this for a while, he bought his team so much time to respawn.
True.
But instead, it just becomes a staggered death.
At this point, they need to go for the keep. And I'm loving the decision-making by A-Team. They do not go for the mercenaries. I know you just want a team fight, but still, you want to go for the structures. That's much more valuable. The minions are even going to tank the aggro from the towers. The mercenary support there as well. That is a keep. Is that a core Tetcher? 20 seconds on Genji, 20 seconds on Tychus, 27 and 37 on the Merchant. I think this delay tactics might actually bite them now.
They're gonna try. There's 3 catapults about to be on the core of the A-Team. It's a race, depending on how well they can delay, but the shields already going down. Here comes Malfurion. He is the start. He's delaying right now. Score down to 50%. In comes the Odin. Big red button gonna come in as no does the damage. The sleep is good. Big red button for huge damage onto the core, and it is enough. The A-Team get the 1-1 versus TeamNut.
One team fight is all it took